Alright guys, so welcome back. We're going to be doing the founder area in this video today, is what I like to call it. So let's go to our design and we'll scroll down below our features area, and I call it the founder area because this text says, "Hi, I'm Louis Graham, the founder of the company." So this is the founder, I'm assuming. And we'll build the desktop version in this video. And then that's what it looks like in mobile, which it basically looks the same in tablet. It's just like a smaller width. And then that's what it looks like on mobile. But we're going to just focus on the desktop part first. So what I'm thinking off the bat is we'll put these in a container and flexbox them so they're side by side. And then I'll probably use, I'm either going to position this absolute, or I'll just use like negative margins to push it up and down. I think I'll just do my negative margin maybe, but we'll see. Cause I'm going to have to make this absolute, I think, just to get the image to, oh no, I'll make this relative and we'll make this absolute to get the image to sit on top. So that's fine. We can probably just use negative margins. Whenever you can avoid using position absolute for like, big elements, you should avoid it because it's just harder to work with. You should, if you have to, use other things like I'll show you in this video. At least I think that's going to work, but we'll see. Again, this is the real development process. I've built this before, but I'm going to build it differently here. So let's go in our CSS and we'll create a founder comment, and that'll be the start of our founder CSS code. Okay, just we got that set up. And then we are going to make another section. And this is the first section, guys, where we don't have to worry about making a wave. We don't got to copy paste that wave text. Just a white background, super simple, and we love that. So let's go to section, and then we'll give it an ID of founder. And then we'll do our container. Give everything some padding. Then within that container, we'll say founder flex container. So because we have to have a container within the container so we can use flexbox on it, because we don't want to use flexbox on our default container. That's just to give padding and center it. So we'll say founder. And I'm calling it founder flex container because that's literally what it's doing. It's just a flex container for my founder area. Always make your classes and your IDs for CSS, make them, if they're long, who cares? Make them as descriptive as possible so that if you go back and visit this code in like a year or two, or if somebody else has to work on your code, they can know exactly what the thing does just by reading the class name. It's really helpful. All right, so then we're going to need we're going to have an image and then a div with this in it. So let's do the image. Say image. And before I do anything, I'm going to give it the class of founder image so I can select it and style it really easily. And then we'll go to our source, our src, and put our image file path. So it's /, go to image, and image founder webp. Let's make sure that's the right one. The wrong button there. Sorry about that. All right. There he is. He's huge. But that's it. It's the right image, so that's good. Should probably leave this here so you guys can see it update. Sorry about that. And then we're going to make a div right below the image, because remember, like, this is our flex container for the founder stuff. So every element that's a block element that goes in here, when we use flex is going to put it side by side. So we're going to display the image block with our styling, and then we're going to have another div in here, and that's displayed block automatically. So it's gonna, we don't have to say display block on the styling. So we'll call this, I think the text mentions like test. Yeah, this is applying for access. So we can say access box, I guess. Access box, we'll call it. Or, we can call it card, because in development, they call stuff like this cards because of like there's CSS frameworks out there called like Bootstrap, and they call each individual like element like this a card. So we'll just do that. It's like nerd talk for div, basically a card. We'll say access card. And most developers, if other developers look at this code, like seasoned people, like they'll be like, oh, it's a card. I get it. Like they'll know. And then what's in our access card? So we have a heading, a paragraph, a button, and then an image. So, and that image is going to be absolute and off to the side. So we'll say that's an H2, I guess. So we'll say H2. And should we put it in? We'll put it in a. We'll put all of this stuff in another container so we can give it padding. So let's say. Or should we? Let's. Yeah, we will, because we're going to give it padding and stuff all the way around. So we'll say. Access card content. And we'll say H2. And it says be the first to test. Okay. So be the first to test. And then below it is a paragraph. And should be able to copy this, paste the text in. And then below that is a button. And it says apply for access. Okay, see how that looks? There's all of our content. And then I'm going to leave the image out for now. We'll do that last. We'll do this little circles last. Let's get all this content together, and then we'll add that in later. So let's see how this looks big. So we're going to have to give this whole area margin top, so to push it away from this. And let's see how far away it is. It's a good amount away. That might be like 10 rems. So, yeah. Back to our code. Pull this up. And we'll say founder. Say hashtag founder. Margin top, 10 rem. Might even be more than that. Let's just stick with 10 rem for now, and then we'll adjust it. And then we're going to do founder flex container, and we're going to flex our stuff. Let's see. Founder flex container. Say display flex. Align items center, and justify the content center. Now they're side by side. Okay. Now we got to fix the image. Let's see how big the image is. I'm going to click in here on Figma. It says it's 477 by 477 on desktop, so we'll do that. So we'll select the founder image class, and we'll style our founder image. Say width 477 pixels, height 477 pixels. Cool. That looks good. Now we should, let's see. So this sits on top of the image, so the image might have to be positioned absolute after all. But we'll do that in a second. Let's get our content in here. Did I display that block yet? Didn't. That's okay. Let's get this stuff styled in this box. So access card. We're gonna make that. Select that. Say dot access card. And it's got that background color of that dark purple. And then the text is just white, I believe. Let's make sure. Yeah, white. And white, yep. So we'll say color white. Cool. And then it's got a height and width on it, I believe, for the entire box of 730, 413. So let's say width. Let's say 730. Okay, 730 pixels. And I'm just going by what the Figma file says. We'll adjust as we have to, because this is just like a starting point. All right, there's that. And then let's give it our content some, see what it looks like on the big screen. There it is. Now we need to give this content padding on the sides. Because the design, like, it looks like this. So it's kind of, maybe we'll put it in the dead center by using Flexbox on this content and aligning it column, so that remember, if an element has a height and a width, you can just flex, align item center, justify center, and then it'll put all the content dead center of that element. So let's try that. So let's say display flex, align items, align items center, justify content center, and then we'll say flex direction, because now everything's going to be side by side and look weird. Watch. If we go to our oh, it's not. Huh, I wonder why. Maybe we don't have to use it. So that centered it, though. I thought we'd have to do flex direction column, but I guess not. I don't know. You guys tell me why in the comments, why we don't have to. But anyway, that works. If it works, it works, man. Alright, so now let's style the H2, the paragraph, and the button, and then give them spacing. Well, actually, so access card. Oh, it's because we just did on access card. We need to say access card content. I see. Yeah, that's because we just did that to the access card itself, not the content box, and that's why it worked without anything, which is what we should have done. So even in my little mistake, it wasn't a mistake. It was the right move. But sorry, CSS, even after years of doing it, guys, it gets confusing. So like I said, if you're new and you feel like you're just not good enough, like, it's confusing no matter how long you've been doing it. I just noticed that we don't have alt text, so I'm going to just say Workit founder for that image to be accessible. There we go. All right, so let's select access card content and give it padding on the sides. Say padding 0 rem top and bottom, and like 4 rem on the sides to get it away from. See how there's like padding right here on the sides? Oh, let's see. There we go. That looks pretty good, actually. I'll keep that. Now let's style. So now we're just going to go down in order. So H2 first. The H2 is going to be 44. Says missing font. How big is that, though? Did not tell us. Heading medium. Let's see what it says. Heading M. I think it's like 60 pixels over here. Again, this design is strange. Usually for front-end Mentor, they're formatted different. But so I believe that's the heading medium there, and it's heading L, heading L, heading S. Heading L is 80 pix. Heading M is 56 pix. Okay. So let's say dot access card content and H2. So the H2 within that, which is only one. And we'll say font size. 56 pixels. Let's get our code back up. That's good. And then we'll give it padding bottom of like 3 rem. Okay, see how that looks? Pretty good. It might be too much, but we'll keep it for that as now. It looks like a pretty big gap. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to say 2 rem. Let's see. Yeah, it's better. Okay. And then I think our paragraph is fine. It should already have the default styles of like 18 font size and all that. We already took care of that in the global styling. So we're just going to push this button down now from the paragraph. About 2 rem, maybe 1 or 2 rem. Let's see. That's like 1 rem, honestly. Maybe 1.5 rem. So let's say access card content and P for paragraph. Say margin bottom 1 rem. Let's say 1 rem. And we'll see where that leaves us here. Maybe 1.5 rem. And then now we got to style. That's good for now. And then we'll style the button. I'm going to give the button a class of founder button. And it's like basically the same everything as the button up top, but there's going to be some like big changes in the styling. As far as I think the button up top, we positioned it center, and this one's to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a new class, copy and paste a lot of the stylings from here, and then position it where it needs to be. It should just be right here. I could avoid that by I can make a class that just says center and use it as a utility class to center stuff with margin, but we're already this far in the project that doesn't matter. It's just a one-time thing, so I'm not going to do that. So founder btn. So now we'll select that dot founder btn. And let's go up top and grab our styling for that button that we already made. So right here. And we'll paste it down here. Margin 3 rem auto. So I'm going to take that out. See what that looks like. Because remember that margin auto was what centered it. So there we go. We already put margin on there. So apply for access. It looks longer, so let's adjust the width. It says supposedly this button is 190 by 61. And as you can see, it's about 30 pixels longer, so that's accurate. See how it looks now. Cool. So now we just have to make the hover effect. Which I think, is it the same as the top one? Let's see. Yep, it's the exact same. So we'll say founder btn hover. And I'm just going to go back up here and grab the styles for that. I'm not going to type them all out again. Right here. Remember, guys, reuse, reuse, reuse. The 3 most important rules of coding. There we go. Should give us our hover effect. Let's see. Hey! Cool. That was pretty painless. So let's look at the design. I think the gap between the button and the paragraph needs to be 2 rem. Yeah, it needs to be bigger. Let's go up here and say 2 rem on the bottom. That's better. All right, so I'm going to give this more padding or margin on the top because it's too close, because now we have to manipulate the image and put it. We're probably going to have to position this absolute to put it where we want it. First, I'm going to say margin. I'm going to add like 5 rems of margin at the top here. I'm going to say 15. And now we have to figure out how we're going to do this here. So maybe founder flex container, we'll say position relative. And then let me just see the gap on that. And then this guy has to go above here, and this has to go on top of it. So where's the founder? It goes to where like the founder's ear, basically. And then this goes on top. So yeah, to get that to work, one of these has to be absolute, and then we'll give it like a z index of -1, so everything goes on top of it, I guess. So founder image, we'll say position absolute, top 0%, and then we'll do left 0% as a starting point, and then we can change where it is. Oh, we'll do z index over here, and we'll say -1. And now it's going to move that around, and then we'll have to manipulate it. We'll go to the developer tools and do it in real time so we can see what it looks like. Okay, so that's on top like it should be. I guess we can use margin to push this over since it's not going to be absolute. Now it's just in the center because this is still flexed, and now this is taken out of the flex, so that's fine. Let's say I want to move this over our test card or access card. Say margin left 5 rem, and that should just push it over and out of the center. Let's see, it should, in theory. If it's gonna work, I don't know. It's kind of one of those tricky little situations here. Select that. Access card, does this do anything? Yeah, it's doing something. Have no fear, it's doing something. Now we gotta kind of like make it look centered, which it kind of does right there. Let's say margin left 28 rem for now. Cut 28, holy cow. This is probably not best practice to do it this way, but this is how my brain works. So if it looks good, it looks good, man. All right, now we're gonna do manipulate top, bottom, left, and right with this thing. Put the founder image. So this, I'm like pointing to the screen with my finger like you can see it. This needs to be like where this guy's ear is. So I'm gonna go in developer tools. I selected that, our image, and I'm gonna go up and down on my arrow keys to move this around now in real time. So let's put this up here. It's about right there probably. So -39 top. Let's save that in our code. And then let's make it go left on top. So this is on top of the thing. How far over is it? Like that far over? Okay. So I think we're pretty close. I think that's good. Left 12%. Let's save that in our code. Alright, does that look like it's supposed to? Oops. That looks pretty good, man. Is it centered? Does that look like it's in the center to you? I think so. Not exactly, right? Maybe I could probably move this stuff over a little bit. And then put margin left less. Let's do that in developer tools. Let's not guess. So let's say let's take this And we know the top is good. Let's just move this over like here. That's enough. So left 6%. And I'm just like eyeballing, guys. This isn't going to be exact, but it'll look good enough to where the designer, the design team, and like the average user of the website, if this was a real project, wouldn't notice. They'd be like, oh yeah, it looks centered. It looks fine. You just got to kind of use your judgment. All right, so now let's fix our margin left on here so that it's over more. So access card. And let's make this go like here. 18. I think that's more centered. So let's say 18 rem. And then let's use margin top to push this stuff down more, because now it's not pushed down enough. So again, let's do that in developer tools. Just click on our whole founder section and go to margin top. So see how useful developer tools are, guys? It's crazy. Once you understand how to use them, and once the light bulb goes off in your head of how to do HTML, CSS, and use developer tools, like you can make anything you can think of. It's so fun. So I'm going to say margin top 25 rem. That looks good. Let's see. Cool. Let's give this margin bottom so that it's not like sucked up, so that we can see the bottom of the page. Like what I'm talking about is like this here, it's just sitting on the bottom. So let's say margin bottom like 8 rem. It is annoying me. Alright, that should fix that. Yay. Cool. That looks good, man. I'm proud of that. Let's just do the last thing now. Let's make this access card position relative and then put this image in absolute. So say access card position relative. Let's add the HTML in. So for those circles, do I have a separate one? Oh, I do have founder circles in here. Okay. Not, I was just going to use one of the ones from the header. So let's go. We can just put them below the button, I guess. So image, we'll say add the class of founder circles. And / image founder circles. I'm not going to put an alt text because that's just, these are just decoration. And then see if they're on the screen. They are. Now we're going to position. See, they're messing everything up now because it's not absolute yet. So let's select them, put them absolute, and put them where they need to go with top and left. So I'm going to say, put it underneath the button stuff. Dot founder circles, position, absolute, top, 0%. Oops, getting a little ahead of myself here. Top, 0%. Left, 0%. And now let's go position them with our developer tools. See if the circles are the right width, first of all. Yeah, they're good. Cool. So now that fixed it. Now let's position absolute so it's not messing up our whole element. Let's go to inspect. And let's use our selector tool here. Founder circles. And let's go top. No, we got to make them. We may have to do z-index 1 too because I forgot to do that. But oh no, we're good. So let's go top. I think they're like top 72%. Let's see how far they're hanging off. Might be less. Let's say top 70. Yeah, they're not hanging off too much. So top 70, and then we'll go left. Let's go left, and they're like right over here on the design, I believe. So let's go left. Right, left to there. So left 63%. Yeah, I think that's good, guys. Like off the bat, that looks pretty good. It's like, look at the design there. Look at the code. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it looks good. So that's gonna be that, guys. I wonder how this looks on my laptop. Let's see. Let's go to this. Let's say developer tools, media query. devices. Obviously on these devices that's not going to look right. Not letting me select a device. Oh, that's weird. Wonder why. I think we're glitching out here. That's alright. I'll check that on my own time. But yeah, this is going to be the desktop version, guys. So we'll stop the video here, and then in the next video we'll make this part responsive. So we'll make it look a little smaller on tablet, but pretty much the same design. And then on mobile, we'll just, looks like we stack them on top of each other, and then we use some negative margins to push this up over it. We'll do that. And yeah, that'll be it for that. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll make this responsive next time. Thank you.